Well, good morning, guys. Once again, it is I, the chairman, with another review of physical media. And boy, do we have a massive haul today to go over, and that is the Vinegar Syndrome Black Friday haul that I obviously ordered on Black Friday, in addition to the pre-order for their bundle that occurred a few months earlier, and it all just came in last week. And actually, when I opened up the box, I was actually kind of surprised by the amount of stuff there was, because I had also, like with the stuff I had also ordered in addition, and it was just, yeah, I was kind of taken aback. But let's go through it all because there is a lot to go through. So, this is in no order because this is just what I have in the stack here. But you have Creature, which had already been announced by them as part of the bundle, and so this is the cover. This is the back cover, and obviously, as we know with Vinegar Syndrome, they have really nice slip cases, nice nice cardboard there, and this is the inside. So we're getting like 3 different covers actually with Creature. So we have this on the back, and this is the back here. And if you don't know about Creature, it's directed by William Malone, co-produced by him. Stars Stan Ivar, Wendy Shaw, Marie Lauren, Lyman Ward, Robert Jaffe, and of course Klaus Kinski, because you know you got to have the man himself. And the special effects work was done by Doug Beswick and Michael McCracken, and cinematography by Harry Mathias, who also was cinematographer for The Right Stuff. So that's pretty cool. And so that's Creature. Oh, actually, you know what? I wanted to show you the. So this is the reverse of the insert there. So like I said, three pictures, three different pictures for the cover. And so Steel and Lace is one of the ones that was one of the 2 secret titles that they hadn't announced, and they only just announced on the Black Friday sale. So that's the front, that's the back. So you get a nice Dario shot there. And so as you see the tagline there, she's tough, she's tender, she's all woman and all machine, a deadly combination. And I think I mentioned when I announced that I was ordering this that I don't know where I saw this. I probably saw this on cable, Skinemax or something. I think this was one of those direct-to-video or direct-to-cable films from the late 80s or early 90s. And so this is you know, kind of a takeoff on Frankenstein, because this girl's been attacked, sexually assaulted. She then commits suicide. Her brother, played by Bruce Davison, then takes her body and turns her into like a cyborg, essentially. And so she goes around and exacts revenge on her assailants, I guess you would say. And so yeah, so it also stars Claire Wren and Stacy Haiduk, who if you've ever watched a lot of like rented films and movies on cable, you'll remember her from that era, and David Naughton. So you have a pretty interesting cast here. And so this is newly restored in 2K. It's got an extensive new making of directory. So the inside is the same as the slipcase, and here is like the old original cover that was probably on the VHS. So we got Steel and Lace. And one of the additional films that I picked up that I got a recommendation from just reading one of those random articles that showed up in my Google feed was The Caller. And this is one of Vinegar Syndrome's older titles that they've had on the. Actually, you know what? I think it came out last year, actually, according to the 2020. I just missed out that this had been released by them. But this is actually sounds really intriguing. It sounds like there's like a complete mystery and like a big twist going on. But basically all it is like there's this lady played by Madeline Smith who's living all by herself in some house in the woods, and then all of a sudden Malcolm McDowell comes knocking on the door, wants to use her phone, and then as things turn out, they know each other. How? I guess we'll find out from watching the film. So it sounds really intriguing, like a psychological, tense kind of whodunit drama where you're trying to figure it what's going out and trying to keep up with what's happening. So yeah, it seems pretty intriguing, and it's probably one of those films where the less you know about it, the better. You just go and watch it and just go along. So, and then so we have Dario Argento's Trauma. Seems like a new Dario Argento film is coming out on Blu-ray or 4K every month now. Seems like. I mean, we just had Arrow and Synapse announce a co-release of Trauma on 4K. Synapse is doing the release in the US and Arrow is doing it in the UK. But so this is Trauma. This is one of his later films, and it's actually his first US-based film, actually, if I recall correctly. Yes, it's the first film. Well, it says US lens, so I guess that means he shot it in the US. Although, is that true? Because in Two Evil Eyes, his part was shot in Pittsburgh. But I guess they mean full film. So that's the inside of that. Same cover. And so this is like the VHS or the theater poster for it. And so Trauma is a 4K restoration, 4K scanner restoration from the 35mm inner positive. And it's about a young lady named Aura. She's on the run for her parents. She's rescued by a journalist named David Parsons. Then her parents are murdered by a serial killer known as the Headhunter. Sends her back on the run. And then I guess they got to figure out who's the serial killer. So, you know, sounds like a typical Dario Argento film there. And it also does star his daughter, Asia, in one of her earlier roles. And so then this was a separate purchase, but this is a box set, a really nice box set actually, of Camille Keaton in Italy. And so Camille Keaton, we know her mainly as the star of I Spit on Your Grave. So got this open up. And then inside we have the 3 films separately boxed. I've had so many, I've had so much come in, I haven't opened these. But, so this is Madeline. And that's the back cover. This is a 4K scanner restoration from the original camera negative. So that's cool. We have Tragic Ceremony at the back of that. And this is a 2K scanner restoration from the original camera negative. And then we have this one, great title and great cover, Sex of the Witch. As we all know, witches like their sex, obviously. And this is also a 2K scanner restoration from the original camera negative. And then the other title that was one of the secret ones was Ebola Syndrome, which seems like the most out of place because it's actually a Hong Kong film. And it's about a guy coming from South Africa to Hong Kong, and he's bringing back Ebola. And so obviously we're all kind of freaking out about Omicron right now, which is coming from South Africa as well. So, you know, I guess they knew something back then. But anyway, so this is directed by Herman Yao, and Anthony Wong is the star, and he's most well known for being in Hard Boiled, but I guess he's also been in a couple other of these what they call Category 3 films in Hong Kong. I guess that's a rating for like essentially equivalent to a video nasty, as it was known in the UK, but just like the most egregiously violent or over the top, types of films, probably equivalent to like an NC-17 or X rating here. But so that's the inside of that, and there's also a Blu-ray, and so that's the reverse. And so inside the book here, there's a book. Now, I gotta say that it looks kind of cheap the way that this book is kind of cut and put is kind of cut and put together. It's kind of on the level of like a high school or club magazine level, and probably just due to the fact that they had a lot of stuff to do and they had a lot of stuff to put out, so they probably just got like the cheapest printer, and I don't know where you send these. I'll send it out to get this like the books done, but it seems like they kind of went on the cheap with that. So I mean, it's all right, because I think they just had to put it out because they had so much stuff, so they probably had to cut a corner here and there. I mean, it's not up to like Arrow and Criterion level, so I gave them a pass on that because they are a much smaller firm with probably less of a budget. So but anyway, so this was another one that I picked up. This was a reissue of an existing film, Don't Answer the Phone. Another of those classic horror films where they just tell you don't do this, like don't go in the house, don't go across the yard, don't go out the door, stuff like that. So there's a lot of films that with this title, with this kind of title, and actually in the Grindhouse, in like one of those trailers, like those fake trailers in Grindhouse, Edgar Wright actually did one that was just called Don't. It was like the film was just called Don't, like don't do anything. It's kind of a takeoff on these kind of films with that title in it. So that's the inside of Don't Answer the Phone. And there's another one that has like the 3 different covers. So, oh wait a minute, no, yeah, it's actually it's actually different. So that's the flip side. And so we got a book here. And actually, see what I'm talking about is that this book is like actually formatted better than the one for Ebola Syndrome, and it has a background. So it looks like I said, they just kind of rushed that Ebola Syndrome booklet out. And then so here's actually probably their feature title. And actually they already just announced that they're going to send out a replacement for the 4K of this, because there's like a playability issue. So but anyway, so this is Paul Morrisey's Flesh for Frankenstein. Really nice slipcase here, and it actually comes with both the 3D and the 4K. So there's the 3D, the back of the 3D. That's the 4K. That's the back of the 4K. So this is the cover of the 4K, and that's the back. That's the cover of the 3D, and that's the back. I have a 3D player, but I don't have a 3D TV, so I guess I'm not watching this in 3D. And of course, it being Vinegar Syndrome, you know, I had to, I had these on order along with the Black Friday stuff for a while, so they finally came in. Taboo 2 and 3, the Pretty Peaches trilogy, you know, bush porn, like Robert Meyer Burnett likes to say. So if I have the chance to get it, something like that from Vinegar Syndrome, I'm not going to pass up the opportunity. Plus, they're compilations, so one's 2 films in a set, the other's 3. So I'm not going to buy an individual film because it's kind of a waste to do it that way. So if I can get like 2 or 3 films in one, well, that just seems more worthwhile to me. So anyway, that was Vinegar Syndrome, and I have no idea how long it's going to take for me to watch through all of these. It's probably going to take a while. It's probably going to take me till next fall, really. So, but I also have been watching. Oh, I actually want to go through a couple other things that I've gotten in. So, just picked up Suicide Squad. Sorry, The Suicide Squad. This dropped down to $19.99 on Amazon. So, I grabbed that. And also, in terms of vinyl, I finally got Led Zeppelin's Physical Graffiti, one of the few albums out there that really takes advantage of the full vinyl format here. It has the famous sliding cover. So as you can tell, it goes up like that. And then so it has the track listings on this side, and this kind of goes out as a as like a fold out, and then inside you have the individual records. And so what they've done is that they put some pictures of both the band, random pictures, as well as some famous people inside the windows. And so you have like Lee Harvey Oswald, you have King Kong, I guess you have a queen or here or two. I don't know all of these people. You have some scenes from movies. You have the one here of like the famous shot of the guy in like the wind tunnel, and he's getting his like face blown back. Just like random pictures like that. Oops, I think I have it backwards here. So that is Physical Graffiti. And I've been watching through the Airport collection. Just the first 2, even though I've seen all 4 films, like on cable TV, wherever. The first Airport from 1970 actually looks better than I was expecting, and it does look better than Airport 1975. And it looks really well kept. I don't know if it was restored or if it was like, obviously it was remastered, but it just looks like it was like in really good condition, kept really well. And I couldn't really tell if they used any kind of digital noise reduction or anything. It just looked like a really well preserved negative that was scanned and taken care of. And Airport 1975, I think, may have actually had a little bit more help done to it, because it doesn't look in as good a shape as 1970's Airport did. It just looks a little rougher, like a little less clear, like around the people. It's just a little bit more pixelated almost. I don't quite know how to describe it, but it just doesn't look as sharp and as pleasing of an image as 1970s, which is kind of surprising because it's 5 years newer. But it could just be, you know, different conditions in which the source elements were kept. Probably Airport 1970, being the first film, may have been better preserved by Universal or better taken care of. There's no information on these discs in terms of like what was done, like the restoration or anything. So we just have visually what we see to go off of, and it just seems like Airport 1970 does look a lot better than 75. So, you know, who knows why, but sometimes that is what it is. And also because I had gotten in Who Framed Roger Rabbit from Disney Movie Club on 4K, I was curious just to see how much better of an improvement it was over the Blu-ray, over the previous Blu-ray, the 25th anniversary Blu-ray, and I can say that, at least from my initial viewing of just a few scenes, it looks a lot better. Even from the beginning of the live action portion, after the little short with Baby Herman and Roger Rabbit, you can just immediately tell how much better it looks. Like even when the secretary takes Eddie into Arcade Maroon's office, you just immediately can tell just by the colors. And even though the colors there's not a big range of colors. There's a lot of tans, a lot of browns, that kind of shade, beige. Everything just looks so much more vibrant, like just more lively, like it's accurate, as opposed to washed out or slightly desaturated, which is what the Blu-ray seemed to look like. It just had a vibrancy, and I don't know whether it was because of the HDR or there was just a more accurate correction of the color, even because there wasn't a lot of, you know, range on display. It wasn't like there was a lot of big brights and deep shadows. It was a very basically lit scene, but even in that scene, you could immediately tell how much more detailed and crisper the image was, and like you could see their like the fabric on their costumes better, and just everything was more vibrant. And then even after Eddie goes out, and then we have the first big shot of him walking around and interacting with the animated characters, it just all looked better. Like you would think that during those shots, the visual quality would degrade a bit because there is that compositing. You know, like you're layering the animated cell on top of the live action plate, and normally there is some loss of quality and some just downgrading of clarity and all that. I mean, like you could tell a lot of times, even with titles from these old films, anytime the title sequence comes up, it just goes down, but as soon as the title sequence ends, it goes back up. I didn't get that as much here, or I did not detect it as much of that with Roger Rabbit during those scenes. And then I went ahead to the Ink and Paint Club scene, you know, the famous scene where Jessica Rabbit comes out, and even that looked a lot better. I mean, I don't think this is hitting like super high brightness, because even when the light shines into the camera when she's walking around dancing, it's not like blowing out the screen. So it's probably not going to register super high peak brightness, but it just looked a lot better. It looked like she was more three-dimensional than in obviously previous versions. Like, even though she's obviously, sorry, I went on for too long and the camera stopped recording. But anyway, like I was saying, even though clearly she's two-dimensional, just the fact of the 4K and probably the HDR just made her look far more three-dimensional than you would have expected. So that's Roger Rabbit. That's Roger Rabbit. Really kind of, I feel like, went under the radar in terms of like a 4K remaster of an existing film, but definitely one that you should pick up because I don't think it's that expensive anywhere. Like I said before, I got this from Disney Movie Club, so I got the discount for it. But you know, it's definitely worth an upgrade because it's one of those films I think has been greatly improved over the previous Blu-ray. So anyway, that's Roger Rabbit, and so we've gone over quite a lot today, and definitely looking forward to giving these all a watch. So until next time, enjoy physical media, and I will talk to you later. See you.